Heads No Headache brings to you Joey Cerone. Joey, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you fellas?
Doing pretty good. It's a little cold up here in North Dakota, but where are you joining us from?
I'm in sunny Los Angeles, California.
Oh
Living.
man,
It was chilly for us too. It was about 55 yesterday. I had to wear a light jacket.
you poor thing.
I know. I was worried.
So when did you get down to LA?
In September.
Okay, and then what makes a comic like you move to LA over other places?
That's a great. So my brother was already living here, and I wouldn't have to pay rent. Was the number one reason.
Say no more.
Whatever the freest option was, I was gonna probably follow that.
So let's give our listeners a little background on you. If you're giving the spark notes of who Joey is, who is Joey?
Professionally, I've been a comic for 5 years. I got started down in Bloomington, Indiana, at a great comedy club called the Comedy Attic. Um, I'm a nice. I like hanging out, and that's about my whole life. Is that?
And when you say hanging out, you
Yeah,
mean
I'm talking no undies. I'm just letting it flop.
okay, well, so you've been doing comedy for 5 years. What's your comedy niche? What is your brand of comedy?
Slow comedy. It's real slow. I've had it described as not the intellectual man's comedy. There's not a whole lot of thinking involved. It's just slow and digestible.
I did see a clip that you said you had 11 concussions, and then judging by like just the slowness of it, that tracks.
Yeah, it's hard to think, and so if I take my time, then I can meander better.
That's all right. So what made you like? Obviously, you get to have free rent out in LA, but what made you take the big leap? I mean, is Bloomington, Indiana, a large market?
It's a surprisingly large market, I think, but there's only one club, and it's a great club, but there's a lot of great comics. And so it's hard to kind of get a consistent weekend thing going. It's hard to make money in Bloomington doing comedy because there's one club and there's only three comics on a show on the weekend. And so I was like, let's move somewhere where there's more stuff. And so I did that. Then that happened, and there's more stuff. But Bloomington, as in terms of market, they bring in probably 600 a weekend. Like it's a smallish club, but they pack it in.
So Bloomington's where Indiana University is, right?
Yeah, home of the
So
Hoosiers.
so you went to Indiana, obviously, then.
I did. Yeah, I got my bachelor's degree in theater.
Wow, an educated comedian. So
Yeah,
rare.
real educated.
What so you've been doing comedy that long. Why go to college then?
Uh, I don't know. I got. I wish I lived before I thought about that. I wish I was back in that like 10 seconds ago. I don't know. I went with a degree. I started with a degree in journalism because I thought I was going to be a sports broadcaster. Um, and then I hung out with the people in journal, nice folks, but not the person, and not like my kind of. I don't gel very well with like people that do a lot of research, and so then I switched my major, and I was like, comedy is so much more fun than uh, interrupting people, so I just did that.
Oh, you say no research, and that's just what this podcast is about. It's like, what'd you do your research? It's like I looked at a couple Instagram posts.
Dude, infographic research is all you need to do. You just need the baseline.
So what's next for you in comedy? Are you trying to just get a routine thing going, or what are you doing?
Yeah, that's the tough thing is because moving out here, it was like being promoted to the bottom. So like it's right now I'm just trying to get back to at least uh at least doing weekends again. So that's the plan. Because I mean, or at least booked. I think it doesn't matter the day. I would just like to get booked.
Were you in LA at all before people started like moving out of it to Austin and other places?
No, I came late, so I didn't see any of the mass exodus.
So you
But
were just getting in and hoping to bring LA back to its glory?
yeah, it's all on my back. Everyone tells me.
Does it help? There's less competition. They're all moving away.
Yeah, because me and Joe Rogan, we were like neck and neck for a while. And get out of here, oh boy, I have so many
Is it
more chances.
the Joe Rogan of Bloomington, Indiana?
It's been said time and again, man. I can't shake that nickname.
Weren't you in some sort of competition? I guess I just was checking out your Instagram earlier, but were you in some sort of, what was it, comedian competition?
Yeah, it was they have an annual competition in Bloomington. That's the whole summer. And it's like it's rounds and stuff. It starts with like 48 comics, I think, and then 8 people move on every round, something like that. And it's fun. I don't think I'll ever want to do another comedy. Have you guys ever done a comedy competition?
Nope.
Okay. It's the most immediate and horrible feedback of all time. It's this year. I was lucky I won this summer because I don't want to do. It's so hard to do something and then have everyone in the audience put you in a ranking with your peers. It's horrifying. So I don't. I don't know.
Yeah, I already got enough mental problems that would probably just do it for me.
Yeah, that's fair. It really is a tipping point sort of thing. I've seen folks go crazy over it.
How does that work? Do you have to have new material every round?
Yeah. So
And how
it's
long is the set?
5 minutes. So you would have
Okay.
like 20 by the end, 20, 25. Yeah, and then folks would vote, and they would announce it the night of, which was always awkward if you were there with some like if I was good friends with a comic and we were up at the same night and they didn't move on, that was not fun. That was
Who-
that was bad.
How far did you make it in the competition?
I won this past year, and then
So pretty far.
yeah, I was yeah, pretty far. Yeah, so that one was I don't know. It's hard to rank. It's weird ranking. I don't know if you guys call stand up art, but it's the most available word to me right now. It's hard ranking art or pitting it against each other.
I would almost call it some sort of like theater.
Yeah,
So you got a leg up going to 4 years of college. So
yeah.
good for you.
Shakespearean trained. Every comic wants to be Shakespearean trained.
You got a bachelor's degree in stage etiquette.
Yeah, man. Anytime there's a stage, I'm ready. I got my etiquette.
What's some of weird classes you took in a theater major? I can't imagine. Like some of them have to be called just something weird.
Yeah, I had my favorite one was called Voice and Speech Dialects, and that one was it was like a whole semester of doing different accents, and that one.
I feel like that could get just super racist too.
No, we didn't. We stayed away. We stayed with the white people ones, which was, I think, a good idea.
All right, everyone for this entire class, you have to talk like you're Korean. It's like, oh God.
I think I need to leave. No, we did like Scottish and Southern American and not South American, but like Southern, like Tennessee. That was fun.
It's a Southern accent.
Sweet tea
Well, yeah.
country.
Yeah.
What's your Beck's accent then?
I'm good at all. This is an accent that I'm doing right now. I'm originally from London, but I picked this one up when I was in college.
Okay, let's back up.
Yeah.
You're originally from London.
Yeah, England, the big one across the.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. So this is an accent I do. When I'm
At
just
what
talking.
point? At what point did you make the maiden voyage over?
I made it 2 years ago. Yeah, I flew over. Just figured I'd try it out in America.
Interesting.
This is a bad bit. I just want to say this is a bad bit, and I never meant to take it any further than it. But I felt trapped by
I was like,
myself.
You trapped yourself, brother.
Yeah. I locked
Quick
myself.
question about you have a humongous afro. If you grow
Yeah.
your hair out, is it natural?
Yes, that is natural. Um, it just grows like that, which is pretty wild. Because if I was going to pick any hair to have, I would probably pick it, which is a really lucky circumstance.
The white Ben Wallace.
Yeah, I always say Anderson Varejao because it gets heavy and it droops on itself.
Good basketball reference there. Would you say that you're a sports guy, or who's your favorite sports team? What are you rooting for?
I do like sports. Big Colts fan. Uh, love the Pacers, hometown. Not as big into baseball. I see the Cubs in the back, so I don't know if y'all are big baseball.
It's about the only team that doesn't suck in my life, so
Yeah.
go with them.
What other teams?
Jordan loves the
Matt,
Vikings.
you're a Duke Blue Devils fan.
Oh,
Are they bad
They're
historically?
they're good. They haven't won a championship since 2016, and it's just like, oh, March is here again. Can't wait to be disappointed.
yeah, that's great. I'm on the IU fan, so I think I would probably switch spots with you if I could.
At least you guys got cool warm up pants, though.
That is true. You guys have just the blue.
Yeah, it's like it's a trade off. National championships are cool warm up pants, and
Yeah,
in Indiana, you might need pants. So
that's true. It gets chilly. You got to wear pants.
so you had we've had Brian on the show before, and um you say that you're a little slower, but Brian might take that to a new level.
When we're together, it's about the slowest thing I've ever seen,
Yeah, we did a 45-minute podcast that took 6 days.
man. Oh, I love that guy so much. Yeah, Brian. Brian's a superstar, man. Academic weapon.
Okay, first off, that's nowhere cannot be true unless it's some sort of Rain Man thing.
No, he's pretty good. He was good in film school. I remember that. I can't speak to his normal, like human classes, but academic superstar. I love just seeing Brian think. That rules for me, man.
The dude thinks out loud. I feel like he's just talking to himself, very slow.
I just talked to him for 5 hours yesterday.
What do you talk about for 5 hours?
Nothing. It was great. We were just on FaceTime. I just set the phone down. We just lived. It was awesome.
Like 5 hours is so long that you might have to take a shit during that.
We all did. There was like 3 dudes down there.
Oh my god. But my actual question is since you know Brian, is he stoned all the time?
No, I think God, when he put together Brian, you know how we're all born with a little bit of DMT in our brain? I think God slipped and put way too much in there.
That's a very accurate representation because the dude is just like he could start laughing at any moment, which is a great trait to have because I just like the criminal depression that we all
Yeah.
deal with.
Where is he at?
He's in Chicago.
Yeah. Well, you're on Wyatt's trivia show as well. You're looking at the worst team in history. So
What's going
look
on
out.
there? You guys ever seen a movie?
We're great with like so we were born in 93, 94. So we are great with like 90s, 2000s, perhaps early 2010 like comedies.
Yeah.
nothing
Anything
else.
beyond that,
Yeah.
it's got to be a blockbuster. And so now that they mix in like Netflix movies and have recent questions in the last couple of years, I feel like it has been great since 2020 for me. I'm lost, and I consider myself a movie buff. And then I went on a movie trivia show and I sucked, and it was embarrassing.
I'm so sorry. I mean, it is brutal. If you're looking down the barrel of like a 0-point performance, that's painful, man.
We pulled out a few answers.
Like
but
we're kind of like the Make-A-Wish of the whole thing because
Yeah.
we'll like compliment Wyatt and get like a half point.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we lead the league in all time and this season in half points awarded, which is nice.
And I set the record for most beers drank during one recording. So 5's the number to beat. Good luck.
Okay.
I think I'm going to one up that on Tuesday. So I've been training by
Yeah,
drinking every day.
I texted Wyatt and I was like, when are you going to have us back on? And he was like, some people need more reps first. So I assume that means
No, we're seasoned vets. We're season 2 for us. We got a couple battles under our belt.
I can't believe we haven't crossed paths in this movie trivia before, because I was season 1 as well.
Well, but yeah, believe you and me, you're probably gonna win, unless there is some sort of like only other guys in Happy Gilmore questions.
You could talk to Wyatt. I bet Wyatt would do that for you. We could give you that one.
Well, last year I was gonna pay Brian to lose against us, but then I realized the prize was for like a coffee shop in Indiana. So I was like, I don't know if I'm ever gonna use that.
That plays a big part, because if I lived near Wyatt and could like see him in person, I would butter him up. I would bribe him. I'd be like, hey, you want to go out for a night? I'm paying, buddy.
Just inception his mind and what questions to ask us.
My God. Yeah, I think that would work. I think that this league doesn't have nearly enough corruption. That's what I've been feeling like, is that I feel like Wyatt is pristine.
Well, I bullied the last guest off of, or the last host off of it, I'm pretty sure, because it wasn't really nice to Eli at all.
Eli was good. I enjoyed when Eli was doing it, because sometimes something would go so wrong and he wouldn't fully know what to do. And then we would just sit for like 25 minutes, and that was fun.
Actually, we did win one game last season, and it was because the team that was supposed to play us got in a car accident.
Oh my God.
So like 2 of Wyatt's random friends played. And like
we won that one?
Yeah, the final score was like 3-2.
Jesus Christ. That's what
it was like there was no chance at like any questions getting right.
Yeah, but the league needs somebody like us. Yeah. You know, we are honored to, like you said, disrupt the league, corrupt it a little bit. We are the wild card, and every good league needs that.
The caboose, as I think I communicated.
The caboose.
Yeah. Joey's like, you're the caboose, and I'm like, the caboose is the one that always slides off the track and falls into a river.
And that's a great sacrifice to make, because then the train goes faster.
That's true.
Well, I don't know. My buddies Will and Marcus, they're this Michael Schumacher team. They're pretty bad too. So it might be a race to the bottom between the two of you.
If anyone can be worse, it's definitely us, because Wyatt put out his list of top 10 movies in 2023, and I had not seen any of them, and I have only heard of the Barbie movie. So
okay.
I don't go to movie theaters. If I'm gonna see something, I'm gonna legally stream it.
Yeah, it's got to be like a 2-star rated movie from like 2015 on Amazon Prime. That's Matt's territory right there.
Yeah, that's all the good stuff. Movies called like The Black Rock or like Which Way the Wagon Goes. Those are good ones, man.
Yeah.
One of my favorite movies of all time is Battleship.
Yeah,
with Rihanna
right there.
Yeah, like if Rihanna wasn't in Battleship, there's a good chance that she doesn't play halftime of last year's Super Bowl.
That's a really good point. That movie,
it springboarded her career.
I never watched it. I got it on Redbox one night. I miss Redbox, but my brother and I were home alone. We were allowed to have 2 movies, and we picked like I Am Number 4, whatever that movie were. And then we picked Battleship, and we watched the first movie. And then my brother fell down the stairs and broke his leg, and I never watched Battleship.
That's better than the car crash of us winning. Did you push your brother down the stairs? You can be honest.
No, because if it was way funnier how it happened. He just was making a joke, and I just heard, like, I didn't see him fall, but hearing someone fall down the stairs is one of the funniest things ever.
Just thinking about it's hilarious.
Yeah, he was like, I don't even remember what he's saying, but then he made like a whoa noise, and then he bounced down the stairs. It was awesome. He's fine. I mean, the leg healed, but yeah.
I can't imagine like finding someone when they fall down the stairs.
Yeah.
Like, what do you not laugh?
Dude, I came downstairs laughing. And then I saw him sprawl on the ground. I was like, let's be professional here.
Yeah.
They gave me EMT training at theater school.
Yeah, dude. That was, I mean, obviously, it's all life skills in theater school. There's a lot of CPR, a lot of EMT, um, a lot of dental. I got my certificate. I'm not doing good bits, fellas. I'm sorry. It's
Well, no, that's fine.
dental was just stupid. I want to ask you two about what comedy's like where y'all are.
Oh,
It's very intriguing.
Yeah,
Wanna know.
Bismarck compared to LA, pretty much the same thing, I would say.
Per capita, maybe?
Yeah.
No, not even that.
I thought about us because we have a group of like, I don't know, let's say like 8 regulars and maybe like 12 to 15 people who have tried it and maybe come and go as they please, which is fine. I've always thought like that'd be funny if we all voted on like who we think is the funniest. And it's a week it's bi-weekly, but every time somebody goes up, I'm like, oh, this guy's the funniest. And then like the next time, yeah, a lot of improvement in the group of comedians, but it's not great. It's not great.
Are there any clubs, or is this like
no. The closest one is 2.5 hours away.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
I've never had that pop off. I didn't even know I had. That's wild. Okay, so it's okay. Yeah, so y'all are kind of running it, as I understand, or like this is you're the engine, or
for the most part.
Pretty much. There's a bar. Their bars will have comedy. There's one in particular that has open mic night, so we attend that. That's bi-weekly. That's where our crew of comedians that just kind of randomly came together. I always tell people it was like a high school lunchroom. The first time we all kind of went to the same open mic, like that dude's over there with his wife, they're eating, like me and Matt and I are sitting somewhere, like the host and his buddies are over there, and we all just scattered. And then I think literally the very next time we all sat at like the same table together, started bullshitting. But we've become a pretty tight group for like about a year now.
Hell yeah.
So comedy has obviously been in Bismarck. You know, there's certain venues and places that will occasionally bring in a comedian from out of town or a group or whatever, but not really a locally grown base, I guess you could say. Like it's not Bloomington really, you know, it's not a ton of comedians.
Yeah.
But now we're trying to get that where there's local talent participating in this often. So we took the leap and like we've rented out venues and put on our own shows. And now that we've done that, kind of gotten a little more recognized, and other places have reached out to kind of team up with No Brains, No Headache, which is started as our podcast, but it's evolving more into a comedy brand with the podcast, you know, supplementing that. So that's where we're at.
That rules. I'm a big fan of that.
We actually, there's one venue that we've done a couple shows at where we were the first comedy act since the guy that played Screech in Saved by the Bell.
Oh my God.
And then
Dustin Diamond.
Yeah, Dustin Diamond. And then he killed himself like a week after he did that.
I would beg for a fact check on what Matt's statement just now, but
I'm locking that into my head forever. I'm never looking it up. Any trepidation? Any fear of like being the first ones back in that place? Like maybe the venue did it.
It was such a big leap for us from like a bar where the green room was the janitor's closet.
Oh yeah.
To like it's actually a theater where they, you know, do plays and stuff. So you'd love it. You'd fit right in.
I'd go crazy in there.
But so our green room is like full of like costumes and like, you know, just like the backstage is just full of like tools and paint and all these like materials to make their sets and stuff. So it's a theater, but it was such a big step from a bar where we're crammed in the back and like not all seats are conducive for watching comedy to an actual venue theater. And it was a lot for us. It was more just like, let's just make sure this is a smooth show. It's a success, because it's a whole nother step, like putting it on yourself rather than just getting hired for a gig. It's way different. So
Yeah, you have to own that show.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like, you got to think of everything, and nobody's coaching you. It's just like, okay, what little detail is gonna pop into my head that I'm gonna remember, and how am I gonna organize this in a fashion to do it? Oh, by the way, also remember 30 minutes worth of jokes. So it's like, fuck.
Yeah, producing and then being on it. I can't imagine producing a theater show as like that leap, because that's nuts.
I mean, it's like seats like 180, but we were doing a certain number, and then we did a show where we were just like, Jordan hosted it. I was doing tickets
and getting drunk.
Oh yeah, I got annihilated before it, and then I was doing tickets, and I was like supposed to keep track of how many we had, and my check mark stopped at 6.
And he wasn't. You know how you do the 4 with the slash through to make 5. It was like a serial killer. This dude had like 3 with the slash. He had to have like 7 with the slash, and I'm like, how are we counting this, man?
Holy shit!
And I just kept letting people in, and then like I was like, I don't know how many have gone in, but there might be like people standing. I'm like, yeah, no more people can go in.
This is some simple math. It'll give you a rough number of what you had. So,
but it was great because it was right next to a bar. So when someone was on stage, I would go to the bar and buy shots and then do those and then come back and sit. It was awesome.
No, that is great. Jesus Christ.
The best ticket taker I've ever had.
Yeah. I mean, that's a tough job. So I get it. It's a tough job to do sober.
Yeah. Sober doesn't. No, I fucked that one up.
That's fine.
Sober money doesn't make money.
That's true. I've heard
That's what I say in blackjack when I just blow $500 on a Wednesday.
I can't play blackjack because it's too much. I know that there's probabilities involved, and if it enters my head that there's probabilities, then I feel like I have to pretend to think about them, and then it just throws me off. I can't. I'm not a blackjack man.
I would watch a live stream of Brian trying to play blackjack.
Dude, I would watch a live stream of Brian right now, whatever he's doing.
Just Truman show him?
Yeah, I think honestly, if I had enough time to plan it, I could convince him he was being Truman showed. I just would need like 2 weeks.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be very hard.
I think, God, no, he's very smart, but I think I could trick him. I don't think he's good at noticing when tricks are afoot, if you don't mind the whimsy.
Well, from a guy that jumped off of a deck and broke his back, I don't think there's really
God
much. Him and your brother are probably best friends.
Oh, dude, yeah, they meet up. They go to every Bills game just to reminisce. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I think all right. So the Bills Mafia, they're not like different than me. Like they're humans like me. But I wonder what clicks in your head when you're jumping onto a table for the first time. Are they scared?
I think the adrenaline has to be so. If I had a crowd cheering for me, I would do almost anything.
Yeah.
Because your adrenaline hits up there, and then
somebody calls you a pussy. You're like, well, now I have to do it.
And
Bill's choice.
Bills fans are a special breed because they'll like, this isn't big enough, so they'll stack another table on top. Then they're like, that's not cool enough. Let's set it on fire. And it's like, cool. And then that guy's on fire just running around, and they're like, oh, whatever.
I don't think I have that level in me. I think even with adrenaline in a crowd, I don't have the gear to put myself on fire.
I don't think they do either.
I just can't imagine doing that and then going to like work at your accounting job the next day.
I couldn't imagine doing it and like going to the game after that. You're like walking into the game and like half your pants are just burnt off.
I should make myself do it. I might just do it today. I might just set up. I have a little
just in LA. What are you doing? going to Home Depot, gonna pick up some tables, have a real gay time.
I figured I'm going to need more than one. So
Joey's trying to break through like a solid oak table.
I don't see how they get through it so easy, dude. Every time I do it, my back shatters.
What's it like being in LA? Was it a little bit of a culture shock for you from being kind of from the Midwest, or what are you thinking of it?
Everyone I've met has been really nice. The only culture shock is I'm 22. And in Indiana, I used to get carded all the time, like multiple times. And here I get treated like the oldest man that's ever lived. Everyone kind of just, I show my ID and they just pat me on the back.
Get in there, buddy.
Come on, pal. Get in there, old man. So that's the biggest culture shock. Everything's really nice. It's nice to have like different types of food I never had before. I've just been enjoying. I haven't had the shock yet. Yeah, I mean the comedy's a little different. Bloomington is surprisingly like a pretty progressive comedy space, and with one way or another. And then in LA, I'm hearing stuff I haven't heard ever in my life, and that was a bit of I took me back a little bit, but that is not something that.
When you say that, are you like watching what you say, or you could say like more vulgar things in Indiana versus LA, or is it the opposite?
It's the opposite. There's folks saying some putrid stuff out here that I wouldn't even dream of.
I heard a joke today. This is actually a good one. What's the best part about a hooker dying?
What?
You get the second hour for free.
I'm hearing stuff that honestly makes my hair curl even more. I came here with straight hair. It was just flat. The more shows I go to.
You don't get gray hair. You just get more curly hair.
That would be nuts. Yeah. Imagine if I'm just sitting at like horrible open mics and I leave and it's just one curl. That'd be awesome.
So open mics here are funny because I'm sure in LA people go to open mics to listen to comedy.
Yeah.
Here you'll get like people out for dinner, and like that's when open mic will be happening. So it's like, oh, a family of eight's just eating pizza and you're just yelling at them.
Yeah, just saying come at them.
Yeah.
They're having a good time.
It's really fun when there's just like kids in the crowd too.
Yeah, I had a streak there for a while where I don't know what it was, what was happening, what the universe was doing, but I had like 4 or 5 either shows or open mics where kids were in the crowd, and I'm like, I'm not changing my set. It's the set is set. I'm not changing it. I don't care who's in the crowd.
Oh my God.
I have changed my set one time, and it was because there was a Catholic priest sitting right up front. That's probably the most nervous I was.
Oh my God. Yeah, because if you fuck up, you're in hell, like immediately, as I understand it. They just clap and you're gone.
Is that how it works?
The weird part is it was the same priest that married my brother like 4 months before. So I was like, oh God, I don't know if he knows me or not. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna play this one cool and just go up there and suck.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good move though.
Yeah.
That's a good afterlife move. You were planning ahead.
And it gives me a good excuse for just blowing ass at comedy. So
yeah, that poor priest, I'm glad he came and like tried it. And that was at a different place at the time, but poor guy just got it from every other comedian. Just,
I can only imagine.
I mean, North Dakota Catholicism, it's just low hanging fruit to make fun of around here. I do it. I'll admit it. I'll do it.
Yeah.
Those are some of my first jokes ever. My first joke I ever wrote was a Catholic joke about confession. And so I'll do it. But yeah, that poor priest just got it from everybody. Haven't seen him since.
That's a tough bag to be a priest because you got to always be a priest. Like, was he wearing his priest clothes?
He's wearing the cleric thing and everything.
Yeah.
You got to always be a priest. It's like, I don't think I've ever, I mean, maybe I have, but I don't think I've seen a priest in the wild blending in.
I'm sure if the priest goes out in LA, they get like rocks thrown at him or something.
Yeah, I have on my balcony, I got a pile of rocks. It says for priest use only.
Yeah. Do not touch unless you see a priest.
Unless you see a Yeah, it's the same. Indiana, I did a lot of those open mics. I did some shows too, in restaurants where nobody knows that a show is happening, and then the audience leaves after 10 minutes. They just get. It's the fastest you ever see anyone call for a check, is when they understand that comedy's about to be thrown at them.
Or when you put like where the stage is at right by the exit, so people have to walk like right in front of you.
Seems to be a theme around here.
Yeah, but we only do that in North Dakota. It's like, where's the stage going to be? Right by the exit door. You're going to make it as awkward as possible.
Yeah, that's uncomfortable. I haven't had to do that.
Maybe it'll help us in the long run. We'll be the most trained comedians because we got people just coming and going. We got fucking kids in the crowd.
Really, you're doing diversity.
We're gonna be classically trained here pretty soon.
Yeah, that's something school would never teach you.
Yeah. You go to Bloomington, they got like a stage with actual lights and shit. We're over here. There was one time I had to like watch where I stood because the backtrack reverb, whatever you want to call it, the sound was like,
oh my god.
I walked up to the mic and I walked in front of it and it was like
I think the worst spot I've ever been in was I did a show behind a bar once.
Elaborate, like behind the bar top.
Behind the bar top with the bartender. And that one was fun because he's still making drinks.
Did you help me? I would have helped. I would have started making drinks myself as I'm chatting.
Turns out they just hired you as a bartender and you were just thought it was like a gig. They're like, pay me $70 tonight. I get to keep tips too, but I have to make drinks.
No, I made a mistake of asking beforehand and they were like, no. And I should have just done it. I should have just started making something foul.
So you were just walking like back and forth behind the bar?
Yeah, because I had to get out of his way. And so when he would go to make a drink, I'd have to navigate around him. And it was a cord, there's a cord from the mic. So I had to look at the cord and make sure that he wasn't going to trip because he wasn't looking. He was making drinks.
Okay, how ridiculous were the details of the show? What was the crowd like? What were you getting paid, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, so 5 people in the crowd.
Okay.
$10 was the pay. Yeah, it was awesome.
That almost gets the gas to go there.
It was my ideal type. That's the type of mic I love because I play really well to small groups of people. That's my favorite, especially when they're spread out. And because I don't make anyone uncomfortable at all by looking at them or speaking with my voice. So that was
I did that show, Matt. You were in the crowd.
Oh my god!
I did a similar show, and that I will say, I wasn't even upset after that because I was like, you know what, that was a good experience because like you really know if your joke was funny or not when there's only 4 or 5 people to laugh at it, and then like you deliver your punchline and you kind of anticipate a little of a pause, and nobody's laughing. You're like, okay, let's get to the next joke here. Let's keep it moving.
Dude, that is good. I mean, it's true. You can't hide behind anything, but
yeah,
God, I felt that in my stomach. Just you describing it. It makes me feel like a suction cup when that happens. I just want to just disappear inside.
Well, we went to one open mic that was literally, we got there like 5 minutes after it was supposed to start, and there was me, Jordan, and the owner of the store there. And some weird lady came and played piano.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, he set up a mic. I'm like, I'm not going to use the mic because there's 4 people here.
Hey, gig's a gig,
Yeah.
All reps are good reps. I think that's a little bullshit. All reps are good reps. Sometimes reps are bad reps.
Yeah, I ate the biggest bag of shit at last week's mic.
Yeah.
It could not have gone worse.
That's pretty bad.
How long did you do?
I think like 6 minutes.
When did it start feeling bad?
Almost immediately.
Do you dig in? I want to ask you too. When you're doing bad, do you dig in? Or are you
no, I want to get the fuck out of there so fast.
Okay, sick.
And just walk right out the door into oncoming traffic.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Yeah, I'll skip down my set list a little bit and just kind of get towards the end.
Yep.
You usually mix in a couple of the classics,
Try to
keep
go back.
keep those fresh.
Try and win 'em.
But yeah, when the crowd is uncomfortable. But that one show I did, I almost relished in the fact that it was so uncomfortable and awkward.
Yeah.
I was just like, I kind of think it's funny personally. Like, I didn't care because I had a really successful show like the week or so prior.
Yeah.
So like, whatever, I'll just carry it over. And
The best part about that, there was maybe like 10 seats where you could sit. Not all
Yeah.
of them were full, and one of the seats was like the back seat of a car,
What the
just sitting there.
fuck? Jesus, man. All right. I'm going to come to North Dakota. I want to do one of these. I want to go to that one.
Oh, it's great. I felt so bad as a record store that I literally I felt bad, and I was like, oh, this guy's making no money. So I bought like a Blink-182 record.
Oh my God.
And my vinyl player has not been plugged in for almost a decade.
My favorite thing to do is if I'm doing really bad, like 3 minutes in, if I'm doing 5, I'll just say like I give my time back to the club, like it's Congress, and then I get off stage. That's my favorite.
I yield back and then throw the microphone into the crowd.
I yield to the gentleman who is wearing a CM Punk shirt. I yield to him.
He needs friends.
yeah, you should come to Nodak. The good thing is you come to Bismarck. You're talking to the bookers. So
I'd love to go. I'd love to come to Bismarck. I need to go.
I've never been to LA. Have you, Matt?
I don't want to go to LA.
Oh, we should do a house swap.
Oh, fuck. Well, currently right now I have a space heater running in a crawl space because my pipes froze in my sink. And I haven't checked on it in a while, and I'm pretty sure my house might just go up in flames at any moment.
That's not good.
Well, it's all fun and games. So you go get a drink of water, and just nothing comes out.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so take the 55 degrees and enjoy it, Joey. Okay.
Yeah. I was just thinking we could do like The Holiday. You know that? Is that a movie that's on your radar?
I know it with Jack Black and
Yeah.
Homegirl, but I never watched it. Like, I've never seen it.
I was gonna say Nicolas Cage, but
No.
He could make an appearance. You know, sometimes he's just in movies.
true.
But they swap houses in that, and everyone falls in love. So I don't know if that's something you guys would be interested in.
You can come to North Dakota and find love.
Yeah.
Oh, see, now we got a movie.
It's like a rom-com that goes straight to Hallmark Channel.
Oh, wouldn't it be great to be employed by the Hallmark Channel, though? Just a consistent check.
That would be nice. Just get some resids.
Oh, yeah.
Jewels.
All right, you guys are so in sync.
That's what happens with 30 years of friendship.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Well, I don't know. What else do we have to cover? Should we get him out of here?
Yeah, that's all I got. Let our fans know where they can find you, what shows you got coming up. Hit them with the good stuff.
You can find me on Instagram at Joey Cerone Comedy. And then I'll be in Atlanta February 1st or February 2nd and the 3rd. If folks are in the ATL, want to hang out.
Right on.
AT easy.
AT easy.
Well, hey, thank you so much for coming on No Brains, No Headache podcast, man. It was nice to meet you.
Thanks for having me. It was nice to meet y'all. I hope I see you in the Battleflix tournament.
Oh, you're going down.
I buy it.
I'll bring the beers.
All right.
Hell of an
Awesome episode. That was great.
Yeah.
It's usually how we go. It's like, got to get the engine, turning a little bit. Got to get it lubed up.
Get the cobwebs off.
We haven't done a virtual interview in like 6 months.
It's been a while. I think we did like one.
Yeah, it's hard too.
So I guess I didn't really want to get into it in the interview because I guess it doesn't really, I don't know how interesting it is, but what's your day to day in LA, like full-time comedy, or do you have something else that takes up your time?
Full-time comedy, and then I work customer support for an online gambling company.
Out of curiosity, which one?
Nope. Mm-mm. It's not one. They run the engine for it. They're called Boom. It's a software
Okay.
company.
Yeah, my bookie's some I'm pretty sure it's some high school kid in New Jersey that made a website. Like it's so janky, and then I just get my doors blown off into every bet I place. So it was a really good 2022 with
Yeah.
everything betting, and it was a really bad 2023. Besides one weekend in Vegas was pretty exceptional.
How much? What's your unit? How much?
Like 75.
Jesus. Yeah, that's some serious.
It was up to 150, but I was up. So I put in $100 and I made that 100 in 2022 up to 3,200.
Oh my
And
god.
in 2023, I lost all of it. Actually, I lost all of it like before September was over.
So you only
Now
lost,
negative.
Yeah.
lost 100.
I only lost 100, but it was 2 years of my time.
Isn't that the fun part about it?
It's like I could have. It's like $1 a month.
Yeah, I mean that's just good. That's just good economic sense. You know,
I
that's
mean,
a buck a month. I mean, you can swing that.
well, I was gonna mention it since you said blackjack. So in North Dakota, we have charitable gaming in
Yeah.
bars. So every bar has a blackjack table in it.
And pull tabs and like slot machines, essentially e-tabs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's just dangerous because you can be a couple drinks in, ATM's right there, and you're just like, well, goodbye, cruel world.
They don't have. There's no form of. You can't gamble out here. So I had to cut my sports betting loose.
You gamble with your life just walking down the street.
Yeah, people are throwing rocks at me because I'm wearing my.
They think you're a Catholic priest.
Yeah,
Are you
I'm
wearing
like,
a cleric?
yeah, I got my frock everywhere I go. It's a raincoat, but nobody wants to hear me explain that.
But do you hit up open mics as much as you can during
Yeah,
the week?
they're mostly ass, but I mean it's fine.
Or what?
There's like 3 mics that are worth time for it. Like, there's a lot of rep mics where you pay $15 and then you can do 10 minutes.
Okay.
And then a few of them, there's like 2 free ones, and they're all bucket mics, so they draw like 25 names.
Yep.
That's fun.
Learning so many terms about open mics. For here, it's just like we're literally going around to like an old guy with his wife, like eating a cheeseburger. Like, will you please put together a comedy set and do it tonight, please?
And a bucket mic up here just means the bathroom's broken.
Yeah.
You have to shit in a bucket.
I think I've done 3 shows here with the toilet overflowing. It was 3 separate venues.
What?
Dude, and then you go to piss, and they're like,
No.
it's like, oh, okay. There's only one bathroom within the entire premises, and then you can see water just kind of trickling.
Ugh.
At the theater that we have shows at, there's a bathroom downstairs, and I like went into it. I'm like, and I go out, and one of the other comedians is like, Dave, did you smoke weed in the bathroom? And he's like, no. Yes.
Oh my god, weed's not legal in North Dakota, is it?
It's not legal, but
Medicinal.
Okay.
yeah, and it's
Just ask your friend who has a fucking dispensary card.
Yeah.
It's expensive as fuck.
Yeah,
I don't
We
like
don't-
it.
there's not even medical in Indiana, so I didn't know what the vibe was, and
yeah, it's I mean everyone just still does it. And
I'm gonna make it happen regardless.
Yeah.
That question about Brian being high all the time, for me, the answer is yes.
yeah.
I'm trying to think of the last time I saw him smoke. It's been a bit. I think his default setting after he broke his back, he probably like cracked like a glow stick, and that's just his default setting now.
What if he smokes weed and just becomes a normal person?
Honestly, we haven't tried it. Might as well.
Quick question. How do you book your shows? Is it just you kind of cold calling, or do you have a network, or do you have somebody who helps you?
Yeah, so far it's just cold calling and then submitting to places.
What do they ask you for?
Like 15 minutes. and then just the verification that I'm not gonna kill anybody. That's about it.
Just sign this waiver where you won't bring a handgun into the comedy club.
We don't want a Joaquin Phoenix Joker situation. You know,
I'm signing that letter like this, man. I got the fingers crossed behind my back. Yeah, it's a lot of cold calling. That's the fun part that nobody told me about.
yeah.
Well,
Nothing like getting rejected by 15 places in a row, and then
And they always seem to email at the same time. Like, I never get a rejection alone. I always get multiple rejections.
it's probably the same dude. Just got to get these emails out.
Probably. He's running a funny bone. He's running 5 separate funny bones. Just like, all right, just cancel them.
Oh,
Nope.
what I forgot to ask when we were still recording was I saw you were doing a set at like the Laugh Factory in Chicago.
Yeah.
Have you seen the clip of the guy when he says that pegging isn't that
Oh,
gay and then he
yeah,
falls off the stage?
That's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Have you seen Bert Kreischer's reaction to it?
No.
I'll send it to you. It's the funniest video. I like his laugh. He almost dies.
The first time I saw that, I think I showed everyone that was in the room with me.
It's so great. Like Bert Kreischer's like he'll never be that funny again.
God, dude. Brian might actually know that guy. I need to check. That's what I meant to do.
Did you quit comedy after that, or did you just roll
I
with
don't know
it?
what to do. That's the pinnacle.
I feel like it's almost got to boost you a little bit. Like, I don't know how you could make it a thing, but like, we're hiring this guy just because he went somewhat viral.
Well,
you know?
I mean, it would get you a good follower base. Like, look at
Yeah.
that hot chick on a plane. She has like 170,000 Instagram followers now.
Yeah, but I feel like being hot is more marketable. Yeah, I mean, I think he could probably, if he wanted to, he could have leveraged that into like 5 or 6 shows and then built momentum. But it seems like he just disappeared off the face of the earth,
Just
which
killed himself.
also
God.
understandable.
Yeah.
Like I get that.
All right. Well, we'll let you go. This comes out on Tuesday. I'll tag you. Feel free to do with that what you. Hello?
I lost I lost you for all that, which is I heard Tuesday, tag you, feel free, do what you will.
Yeah, I'll tag you. You can do whatever you want. Share it,
Okay.
whatever.
Okay, say.
Right on.
Yeah,
right.
but we'll stay in touch and like wishing you the best of luck and
Wishing you the
appreciate you as a fellow comedian coming on and talking to us.
Yeah, absolutely. I had a blast. So if you guys are ever hankering in the area, let me know and we can hit something up.
Definitely, man. We'll definitely stay in touch. All right.
All right, good deal.
See you, Joey.
See you later.
Yep.